Hey guys, I'm Glitter Valkyrie, and today we'll be pulling for Mythic Veyle. There's actually a ton of risk in me pulling on this banner today because there are some characters that I really want in multiple colors, and there's also a lot that I don't want on this banner, so hopefully I don't regret this and we get some good stuff. So with all that said, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I actually don't have a very good plan for pulling going into things today, and I think that we're just going to do the do what feels right strategy because I think the smartest thing is just to snipe blue, but oh my goodness, that is Eridanus. You know what, she does have a dual skill, which I love, so I'm happy with this. Okay, let's check IVs. And she is minus attack, but that is a very good free pull. And I feel like in this first circle, at least, we should pull the reds. I would love to get copies of Diamant, but I feel like this is not the banner to go all in just because I know he is going to show up again. I'm sure that his banner is going to get voted on for a rerun, and I just feel like there is probably a better time to go about getting him to plus 10. So while I want to pull at least some reds, and it'll definitely be our backup color, I don't know how many we're going to actually pull. And honestly, if for some reason Veyle wants to come home right away, I think the ideal thing would actually be to go back to the Halloween banner for some pulls because I've been pulling just like here and there, and I've been very lucky and I've been able to get a couple more copies of Seedall, and I think I need like 4 to get him to plus 10. And so if for some reason Veyle decides she wants to come home very early, then maybe that's what we'll do, but we'll see. And so, yeah, I feel like there are some great choices on this banner, like with Veyle and with Diamant and Alchrist and Citrine, but there's also a lot that I don't want on this banner, and unfortunately, a lot of that is also in blue. I wouldn't mind getting Freyr. I think that he's fine as a character, and his art is nice, but at the end of the day, I don't know if I would actually use him, so there's not a lot of draw for me there. And then, of course, the other character in blue is Shez, and I know that she is a very popular character, but I really don't like her as a character, and so I'm very much hoping that we don't see her today, but that is the risk that you run on these types of banners. And so that's kind of what I'm hoping to see and not see. And so I think that we can go ahead and answer our viewer questions. And as always, if I don't get to yours, I am so sorry. I will try to do it in a future one. And if you think of a question you want to ask me, just leave it in the comments with #question, and I will be sure to put your question on my list. And so our first question today comes from Ghost Valkyrie, and they ask, what do you think of Claire? Oh my goodness, I love Claire as a character, and I feel like I never get to talk about her because she has like no alts in Fae. But the one that we do have in Fae is plus 10 for me, and I will say she is not as good as yours, Ghost. But I do have her at plus 10, and she is a character that I'm shocked doesn't have more representation because she is so much fun, totally a standout, and I feel like she could definitely at least get maybe a Resplendent or an alt at some point, and I feel like she deserves it. So overall, she is a fantastic character, and I would love to see her get more representation in the future. But thank you for that great question. And let's go ahead and answer another one, and this comes from Koalachi. And they ask, I was super sad seeing Bernie lose Seawile again. Despite the hate, she is my favorite, and I would love to hear what a brave Bernie would look like to you. So I am also a big fan of Bernadetta. I think that she is the most precious character, and I would love for her to get more representation in Fae. And I will say I am not the best at theory crafting, but one thing that I would love to see is something that takes like the Armored Bear Stuffy into account whenever she gets another alt, because that is what I associate. Oh, okay. Well, it was bound to happen, so that's okay. We get a blessing. Let's check IVs. And she is minus speed, but that is fine. And so we will just keep going with this very lucky question. And I was saying that if Bernie gets another alt, I would love for her to attack with the Armored Bear Stuffy because that's what I associate her with because I gave her so many of those to help recruit her. Oh my goodness, Anna. You know, I think she has some decent skills, so I'll take this. Okay, let's check IVs. And she is minus attack, but that is fine. Let's go ahead and pull this next blue. So yes, if we see another Bernie, I'd love for her to have the Armored Bear Stuffy or have something to do with crafting. But thank you for that very lucky question. And, oh no, oh. I'm so sorry to sound ungrateful, but she's not a character that I like, so that's just kind of how I feel. But she is plus defense, and you know, we will just remain positive and keep going. And let's go ahead and answer another question. And so this next one today comes from Anetta's Best Girl. And they ask, what is one character from Engage that you didn't use? Ew. Oh. Oh my goodness, I feel like we need to like maybe close out the game and reset it because I think we have enough Shezes. And this one is plus HP. You know what, if we pull another one, I am legitimately going to close the game and open it back up because I have no idea what is going on. But getting back to this question from Anetta's Best Girl, I don't even think that I got to say it. But they ask, what is one character from Engage that you did not use but can agree with others who praise them that they are a very strong unit? So there is definitely a character that comes to mind. I think that Panette would definitely fit that bill. I would say objectively she is probably a very good character, and I have never used her because I don't care for her design. However, with all that said, I am planning on using her in a future playthrough and that I can see for myself, but I feel like if I have to pick one character, she definitely fits that description. But thank you for that great question. And let's go ahead and answer another one, and this comes from Javeman. And they ask, what did you think were the funniest supports in Fire Emblem Engage? So I feel like Engage gets a lot of flack for not having the best supports, but there were actually a ton that I really enjoyed. And as for the ones that I thought were the funniest, oh my goodness, Leo, oh my gosh. My goodness, I love Leo, so I'm happy with this. Okay, let's check IVs. And he is plus res. I am so happy with this. I know, like, objectively, he is not a good character, and he's, like, way worse than anything else that I have pulled, but he is one of my favorites, so I'm super happy with this. And so, getting back to this very lucky question, I was saying that there were a lot of supports that I really enjoyed in Engage, but basically anything with Selkov was, like, pure gold. I absolutely loved all of his supports. And then some other ones that I enjoyed, I really loved a lot of the ones with Citrine. I loved in particular one with Rosado and Mavier. Those were super funny. And then one other one that I really enjoyed was Tamara and Ivy with the ghosts. That definitely put a smile on my face. So yeah, I think that overall those were the ones that were at the top of my list. But thank you for that very lucky question. Okay, please be Diamant. Okay, Smoke. It's Guy. Okay, so let's go ahead and back out, and we can go ahead and answer another one. And this comes from Leo Altavez. And they ask, what is your favorite Fire Emblem meme? Because I always get a chuckle out of Ephraim's disgusting. Oh my goodness. So honestly, I am the exact same way. I think that that one is probably my favorite. It just fits so many situations, and it always puts a smile on my face. So I would say that one is probably my favorite, but one other one that I like is the one where the FE7 lords say that they need a disguise, and then they just put on like some robes, and they think that it's like the best one ever, and that one always makes me laugh as well. But thank you for that great question. Okay, so let's back out, and we can go ahead and answer another one, and this comes from Wyglaf. And they ask, you said that you love Peach from the Mario games, so have you seen the Mario Brothers movie? How did you like it, and what did you think of Peach in the movie? So yes, Peach is one of my favorite characters, and I did go ahead and see the movie, and honestly, I was so pleasantly surprised by it. Like, I went in with very low expectations, but I think the animation was beautiful. I loved all of the Easter eggs, and it just made me feel like a kid, so it was really neat. And I also think that some of the voice work was really good. Like, in particular, Jack Black, he was so perfect for Bowser and totally brought him to life, so I really enjoyed that. But then if we're talking about like Peach, oh my goodness, Alchrist. This is like the best pull that I could possibly get in colorless. Okay, let's check IVs. And he is perfectly neutral. I am so happy with this. I'm so glad that we pulled this colorless. And, you know, I think from now on, I want to pull every red that I see, because now that Alchrist is home, maybe he can call home his brother. But getting back to this very lucky question, I was saying that for Peach in particular, overall I enjoyed the way she was portrayed. I liked that she was strong. I loved all of her different outfits. They were super cute. And while it was very jarring for me to not have like a high-pitched voice for her, overall I think the voice work was pretty decent. Oh my goodness, Leith. You know what? She is a Valkyrie, so I will take this. But let's check IVs. And she's plus res minus HP. I am fine with that. And thank you so much, Wyglaw, for that very lucky question. And you know what? I feel like at this point, let's just do the full circle. We're pretty close to 40, so at this point, we're going to go for efficiency. But let's go ahead and answer another question, and this comes from UM972. And they ask, what type of job do you work? Because I imagine you as a financial analyst or someone who works in a corporate office. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for the compliment. Oh my goodness, Freyr. Well, I like his art, so I will take this. And we get a blessing. Let's check IVs. And he is plus defense. Honestly, I have no idea what his stat spread is like because I did skip his initial banner, but I will take this. And so getting back to this very lucky question, I was saying that I am the least analytical person there is. I don't work in corporate. I actually work in healthcare. And when I was trying to decide what I wanted to do for a career, it was either going to be healthcare or making video games, but I wasn't like very good at computer programming or coding. And so I don't know, I feel like healthcare came more naturally to me. And so that is what I went with. And while the hours are not the greatest, overall, I think that it was a pretty good choice and fits me pretty well. And so that is what I do for a living. And YouTube is like purely a passion project, like hobby on the side. But thank you so much for that very lucky question. And you know, we should just do this entire circle and let's just keep our fingers crossed that Veyle can come home. Okay, 3-star. And we get a Silas. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull this next blue and let's go ahead and sneak in one more question. And this comes from Liam. And they ask, when the next Fire Emblem game gets announced, would you be more excited for a remake of a previous game or for a brand new game? So if I had my choice, I think that I would choose a brand new game just because I am always happy to have a new experience and something to look forward to. But if we got a remake, I probably wouldn't be too upset. And if I had my choice of a remake, I would go with FE4 because I feel like graphically it could use an upgrade, and then also mechanically it could really, really use a couple of upgrades. And so yes, while I would love a new game, I'd also be super happy with FE4. But thank you for that great question. Okay, let's go ahead and do our last pull. Hopefully this is either Alchrist or Ash. Okay, smoke. Holy smokes, oh my gosh. I'm so glad that we did this circle. And we hit 40, but we have to check IVs. And he is plus attack, oh my goodness. I am so, so happy with this. And so now we can go ahead and do our spark, and while it hurts my heart not to take a diamant, the smart thing to do is to take Veyle, so that is what we're going to do. Oh my goodness. I love this art so, so much. And we get a blessing, and we get the thing. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and end things here. Even though we didn't see any diamant today and I did have to spark for Veyle, I do feel like we got some amazing stuff, so overall I am happy. And if you guys are pulling on this banner, I hope that you get everything that you are looking for. I also want to say big thank you to everybody that took the time to submit questions. I so appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do that, so thank you so, so much. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.